You're so mean.
So mean?
I don't know. It's Mean Girls.
It could be Mean Girls. It is a night for Mean Girls, and for Rude Boys. I don't know. Maybe. It is the EriDan Film Festival, which is episode 123.
1, 2, 3, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3.
And movie 153, for those of you keeping track at home, is going to be Mean Girls. So we're going to talk about the 2004 classic. I don't know. We'll find out.
I think it might be a classic.
You know, but a movie I think a lot of people have seen. So if you've never joined us before, this might be a great opportunity. And if you've never seen it before, you can still join us and talk to us and participate in the picking of next week's movie, perhaps, maybe, possibly.
Yes, because you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's movie.
I think that is how
something like that.
It is, I believe, something like that. So Dan Rosenberg,
yes, sir.
Are you prepared for, I believe, just a reminder, a program note?
Oh, program note.
We've got about 6 weeks left before we'll do our Wheel of Christmas movies.
Oh, that's right.
And then we'll be starting season 5 of the EriDan Film Festival. We are closing in on the end of the year, is what I'm getting at. Is only a few more weeks left remain.
You know, if you think about it,
holiday movies.
We should probably look at how many TV shows have done under 153 episodes.
We could do the research.
I think we have done more than.
I will send that to R&D and have them look that.
Have them work on that. Yes, we'll find that out. But if you want to be a guest right now,
so easy.
It's so easy. You can go to eridanlive.com. It'll bring up a little thing. You put in your headphones. You put on a microphone if you have one. Blah 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 blah. Bada bing, bada boom. You're here.
It's so easy. So let's bring in some people because we have people waiting.
We have people.
Let's bring them in.
One ring to rule the moon. One ring to light.
It's Brittany.
Brittany's here.
Hello.
Brittany.
Ever changing room of colors and magic.
Yes.
It is magical. I do appreciate all the effort that has gone into that.
Yes.
It's a beautiful
Sometimes
thing.
it's overwhelming to me. I just need some regular light instead of the changing ones.
Yeah. Speaking of overwhelming. Wade, Reagan, and Stacy are all here. Look at all this happening.
Yeah.
Reagan looking
mom
like
and a hot guy.
I couldn't think of a guy. He didn't want to be the coach.
Oh,
Aaron Sandals?
no, nobody gets to be the coach.
I can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
That is so fetch.
That is so fetch. Speaking of fetch. And I'm sorry, not fetch.
Not fetch.
Wrong. I was completely wrong. Not fetch.
I thought I said not Fletch. I'm like, oh, that's a whole other movie that we can watch.
That was a whole other movie, which performed really well on this show. Surprisingly well to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, speaking of surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's Dave. Oh my goodness, and he's gone.
He's gone. Oh, there he is.
Wow. Now that's an entrance. Yeah. Take note, people.
He fell out of his chair.
A mole man coming out of his hole.
You were popping up like a toaster strudel. Fantastic. And so and only making second appearance, I believe.
No, I think maybe third.
First appearance, maybe third appearance and first appearance. But they don't get an intro yet. They get this. It's Zach and Natalie.
I like it. I like the intro.
That's fun.
I have this.
A cooler name. Shoot.
We have this one.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yep, here we are.
Here you are. We're so glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
And also joining us, as always, is Adam. He's on location from Boise, Idaho. He can't stay long, though, because, it's Boise.
Yeah.
Who picks
Enough
next
ti-
whirl?
He's got enough time to pick, yes.
Well,
He'll be here just in time to rate the movie and pick the next one, which means he'll be here
He
for about
spells as
40
well
minutes.
as the coach does.
Yes.
well, he's already tipped his hand to let us know what he thinks of the movie.
We already knew.
We knew.
We already
He
knew.
made that
no-
pretty clear last week, actually, I think.
Yeah.
One of these weeks, he's going to shock us. There'll be a movie where we're all like, oh, Adam's going to hate this. I loved it.
Oh my goodness!
This
You've
is not
got
that week.
Mail.
No.
You've got Mail with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
He was one of the very few people who gave the Pee Wee Christmas special a high rate. A high
That's
score.
true.
Yay.
Yes. We should jump into this. Stacey, this is all your fault.
It's actually not.
It's
Yes,
Reagan's
you
fault.
were the one who chose
Yeah.
it. So don't.
You're welcome.
Your offspring suggested it, but you chose it. 2004, PG-13. Watch your back. Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Lacey Chabert. I don't know. Amanda. I'm not even gonna stop there. While I'm screenplay most notably by Tina Fey.
Lizzie Kaplan and
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's Lizzie Kaplan and
Kaplan and yeah, exactly.
Could have been three dots.
It was 3 a.m. Give me a break. Budget of 17 million, worldwide gross of 129 million.
wow.
I don't know what's up with the ratings, with the critics giving it an 84 and the audience an 66.
yeah, that's odd.
So Reagan via Stacy, why are we watching this movie?
Because the other day was Mean Girls Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have watched this a week ago. It would have been October 3rd, the perfect day to watch it.
Well, that's the day we picked
But
it.
Brian wanted to watch different movies, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Very accepting of you. That's very
That's true. It was. We can just blame Brian.
But we picked it on October 3rd.
That is
So
true.
Did.
And that is why I went with it. And I had no other movie in mind. And Reagan's like, Mom, Mean Girls. It's Mean Girls Day.
Well, it's insane. This is another one of those movies that I could have sworn I saw before, but as I'm watching, like, I don't recognize anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
You didn't remember Amy Schumer?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I was waiting for Chuck Schumer.
Not Amy Schumer.
No, it's Amy Poehler.
Oh, yes. The polar opposite. There, we got this jokes in.
It's like
There you go.
There's like
They're now
20
on the record.
20,000 TikToks have come out of this movie. If you spend any time on TikTok,
Yeah.
Gosh,
like
really?
a million quotes and lines from this movie that are all over people lip syncing on TikTok.
My
in case
favorite
you're
is,
wondering
you
what
don't
you're
go
missing.
here.
So my favorite is there's a 30% chance that it's already
It's
raining.
already raining.
Yeah.
Those are some smart boobs.
Oh,
This
man.
movie
She was great in this, by the way. Amanda Seyfried as Karen was hysterical.
She really was. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen her in other things and know that she has a brain. And,
And this was her first movie role.
yeah, but I've seen her I've seen her in other things since then, and I hadn't really remembered that was her. So
It wasn't Lacey Chabert, or however Eric pronounced the name. Wasn't she on
Schubert.
like Party of
Schubert.
Five?
I believe it's Schubert.
yes,
She's
looks
also
like-
in a million Lifetime movies or Hallmark movies.
Yeah,
She was
that's
like the-
what
she
she
was
was
like
on, too.
The youngest kid on Party of Five.
She
like,
was
she was the
Eliza
little girl, from what I was
Thornberry in the Wild Thornberries.
Ah.
Wow, what a connection there, actors.
Well, another EriDan connection. The director of this movie directed Bad Santas 2.
I knew there was something.
There
about
we go.
Now, speaking of sequels, I got 3 minutes into Mean Girls 2 before I couldn't take it.
I
You know,
realized it existed, and that's as much as I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Did they do the classics?
Curious. I was curious, and I was instantly not curious.
There was one returning actor.
Yes, there was.
Who was it?
It was
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows.
Yep.
He plays the same
Surprised
character in
as well.
everything.
he does.
He's the same character in the Goldbergs. Yeah.
In the
Yes.
Goldbergs, he's exactly the same character.
That's what when he was on the Goldbergs, I'm like, why do I know this guy? And it was from Mean Girls, and I had forgotten because it had been so many years since I had
He
seen
does
it.
have more of a spine in this movie than he does in the Goldbergs, because he will stand up to people some in this movie. He would never stand up to
Beverly Goldberg.
Beverly in the Goldbergs. Yeah.
Never. Do you blame
Now, this did go on to become a Broadway musical as well.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
there's that. If anybody's
Ooh.
seen it, I have not seen it as a musical. I'd be curious.
No.
No.
I want to go see it.
Want to watch the musical? Oh, come on. I'm sure I can find it.
If I've seen King Kong on Broadway, I can watch any Broadway musical.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
I mean, if they did on Broadway, not as a musical, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, really, in a way, this movie was Grease.
They turn everything into a musical.
Yeah.
This was like the Pink Ladies without the T-bones. Birds, T-birds.
Oh, January 23rd, 2020, Tina Fey announced that the film adaptation of the musical is being produced.
So they're following the path of the producers, which was a movie that was made into a Broadway show that was then made into a movie
about the Broadway show.
See, so
yes,
okay,
that's awesome. So was this anybody's first time seeing Mean Girls? Dan, you said
I'm going with
your
yes.
first time. Yeah, right, Reagan. I believe
it's my second.
Your second time.
It made me not miss high school. I'll tell you that much.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Made me remember a little bit about high school.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Adam, just hypnotize yourself to go back in time.
Yeah.
Remember, you can only wear a beard one day a week, Adam.
Don't hold a penny.
looks like you chose today.
Yeah, looks like you chose today.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I have pink socks I've had the socks for a long time, but the gym does Fun Sock Fridays because usually we're like deadlifting or something that a lot of people, instead of having lifting shoes, just take off their shoes and do it in their like socks. And so I have these bright pink socks that say "Boo You Whore." They're my Mean Girl socks. But there's people at the gym that have never seen the movie, so they don't get the line. So they are like super offended by my socks.
I've been waiting for somebody to say I'm wearing something pink right now. I've been waiting.
Oh,
for somebody
very
to
nice.
say,
It's not Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
can't tell.
thank you. I don't want
Like
to
a
wear
halo.
it.
This is the light. There it is.
I don't want this.
All right, I'm going to call on Zach and Natalie because we haven't heard anything from them. I'm curious what's happening with the newlyweds. Recently married, by the way. Congratulations.
We had a good DJ. I mean,
I bet you did.
yeah.
Same one.
I don't know. I just love Mean Girls.
Was that a condition of DJing your wedding? Is you had to join the broadcast here?
Yes,
I'm actually. It's part of the.
You get the EriDan
contract,
discount.
so I'm here.
That's the new thing. So wait, you love Mean Girls, the movie or actual Mean Girls?
Oh no, it's certainly not in real life. Too many of those.
Okay.
The movie. I'll stick with the movie. But it really does. Like watching, I was like, wow, this really is like high school. And I told him that. I was like, this is unfortunately really accurate.
It's not all at once, though, is what Reagan and I were talking about last night. It's just all of high school in one glob.
Yes.
It's
hyper concentrated. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good
Yeah.
term for that. Definitely.
Yup.
And I've never, I mean, how many people here have been the new person at school? I've never been the new person. I went to the same school.
Yeah.
Oh.
Except for your freshman year
kindergarten.
when you were moving up with your entire class, which is different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we did that in 8th grade. Remember at Blackhawk,
Yeah.
the 8th grade moved into the high school.
Came with the 9th graders.
Yeah, so we were like, yeah, a big
Came
deal.
with
But
us.
Was a little
Yeah, I've been the new girl in 1st grade and then again in 10th grade.
No, we watched New Girl last month.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we talking about New Girl again?
But anyway,
I'm so confused.
but I was thinking about that when she's like the new person in school and she's getting knocked around. People, I remember feeling like, wow, these people have known each other since 1st grade. But I made friends immediately.
I also get the feeling that this was a wealthier school district than Blackhawk. So the feel of it was a bit different.
Are there really wealthier school districts than Blackhawk? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, and then when I left Blackhawk, I went to a poorer school district. So I was considered the rich kid. Living in half of a trailer. I don't know how.
it was a nice half of it.
Hey,
It was
that
half
was,
of a
that
double
was
wide.
most of my trailer route. Don't knock the
It was the top
don't
half
knock the trailer.
versus the
No, I
bottom.
wasn't knocking it. I'm just saying I literally lived in an apartment made out of a trailer. A little old lady lived in the other half.
Oh, a
So
trailer duplex.
It was, and so we were.
It's a half
broke.
plex.
But Eric
So-
doesn't watch trailers.
But anyway,
No, I refuse to watch a trailer.
Dave,
I love it.
terrible.
I won't watch it.
Well, here's the thing I would say though, if I'm the new person at school, so if I'm the new girl and I'm hot like Lindsay Lohan, you don't have problems. Like, I mean, this you kind of do maybe because the popular girls gravitate to you and the hot guy
Well, with one caveat though, she didn't realize she was hot. She was one of these, it was sort of like when, I don't know if you're if you ever seen Star 80, which is the story of Dorothy Stratton, who became a Playboy model before she was killed by her boyfriend. The reason
comedy, is that a comedy?
That's a comedy. It's fun. Yeah. But the reason that happened was she was this really hot girl in this urban like Alabama town or something that this guy discovered, who had no idea that she was hot. And you get people that are like that, especially if they grow up in Africa or something, which was not the original theme. It was originally just supposed to be if she was homeschooled. And when they came up with the Africa idea, they loved it because then they could do the animal metaphors,
which was hilarious.
Yeah, that was well done.
Things, yeah, like that.
But there's also, I think, there's some racial overtones you couldn't get away with in today's culture.
There was definitely a lot of like jokes that were made that I was like, ooh, like
if you're from Africa,
I
how
still
come
find them funny because they were funny to me then.
You can't ask somebody why they're white.
You can't ask somebody why. That's a great line. You can't ask somebody why they're white.
Oh, the stupidity.
They had like the angry Asians. Wasn't that one of the seating areas?
Words or something.
Yeah,
it was pretty crazy.
What about Eric? Did you like the band? The band people that were all making out.
I thought that was a funny joke.
That was so realistic, wasn't it?
So realistic.
Well, they supposed to call them out as the horny band people, as if there were some that were not in that group.
Yeah, exactly. And so Adam chiming in with he just can't stand Lindsay Lohan. Therefore, he hated this movie, which means, are you giving hate to Herbie Fully Loaded? Because that's on my list.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Directed by the same director.
For those.
Same director.
I had the absolute biggest crush on Chad Michael Murray, though, so that one was a big deal for me.
Was that the main character guy?
Yeah, the Jake with the long hair. Yeah.
Oh, his name was Jake. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this movie.
Biggest crush on that guy.
He was pretty. He was very pretty.
There was a kid who went to my high school who looked exactly like him, and him and all of his brothers, there was like 7 of them, and his mom and dad all watched One Tree Hill as a family, which that was the show that Chad Michael Murray, that's how I like first saw him. So seeing him in Freaky Friday with long hair was really weird.
I did like the dad. I did like Katie's dad because he was just so clueless.
Wait, you're not allowed to go out when they're grounded?
Well, he doesn't
really
know
nice. He was a good dad. He was just.
There are
clueless.
dads like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He is the dad.
Well, they're dads that are pushovers who I know you're grounded, but you can go out. There's that type of dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I never say anything like that.
No.
Look at this partnership. Oh my.
Well, at least Lindsay Lohan's got that Christmas movie coming out on Netflix.
Yeah,
she had so much plastic surgery.
Oh my God. For 36 years old.
It is sad. It is
like
sad.
she
Way
was
too much.
beautiful and she looks so rough.
Oh man.
She's also doing a podcast right now, I believe, too. If you want to hear from Lindsay Lohan on a weekly basis, I think it's a Lindsay Lohan podcast.
I did love the scene when Katie is embracing Regina's mother.
The dog.
And she's in pain. Ow.
Oh, and I'm thinking.
Oh, this movie.
Well, you guys, you have fun. If you need anything, let me know. Condoms. I love you guys.
I wanted to smack her so hard.
Oh, she's a cool mom.
Look at
it.
Oh my.
Low down. It's the low down.
She looks like a bad, Grauman's Chinese theater wax figure of Lindsay Lohan.
It's so bad.
That's really
It's
sad.
just, my heart is so sad. Like,
Yeah,
why?
that's a shame.
Why?
Well, it's the pressure of that business. I mean, there's so many women, men to a lesser degree, but so many women who get the surgery.
You look worse.
They feel like they need to.
You didn't help yourself. Like
I realize, but that's the pressure of that environment.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So, Rebecca says she has to give it points for being more than just a boring teen. I'm going to say movie, not morning.
A boring teen.
What a boring teen morning is about. But yes. What's funny is that for the setup for this movie, for me, it's a little cringy. It's one of those, but then it for me it really won me over.
Did
Right,
it?
like it really does. Like once it really hits its stride, and she's out for the revenge, and all the gloves are off. It's just so funny and so many
I did love the Caesar monologue from Gretchen. That was brilliant.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Why don't we just stab Caesar?
It's just as smart as Caesar.
Oh yeah, and coming from being a girl in high school and middle school, Wade said, "Oh, they should start showing this to girls in middle school so they know it's coming." I'm like, no, that's when it starts.
Oh yeah,
no, it's too late by then.
Well, yeah, I mean that's when the falling out between Regina and Janice happens. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then having been in the classroom for middle school and high school, and then having teenage daughters, it was a little more tame by that point. But it's just I just kept flinching through so much of it.
You were cringing, yeah,
cringing and flinching, and just it was exhausting. It was exhausting. I'm too old for this movie.
I was going to comment. I think this is a movie that resonates more with women than men.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it resonates a little more if you're younger than if you're older.
Yes.
It doesn't mean an older guy can't like it, but I just think that's the demographic it was really going for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And there were definitely cute parts, but I really got annoyed with Tina Fey's character being an idiot at the end, because she was mad too. So having been, and she was not professional. She was not an adult, because it's a movie. I get it.
Right.
But I was still annoyed by that.
It's a great reminder. It's a great reminder that like when you're in school, you think of your teachers as all being these super old adult people.
Right.
They're not. Like obviously she was bartending, to make ends meet, and it's like, who's to say how young her character was even supposed to be,
right?
And let alone having a student that you think that you're mentoring and helping push along to be better, and then have them use something that you said as a dig, or as a you'd be hurt, And
it wasn't even that the girl had thought she said that. She knew what she meant. She just plopped it into that book.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I think we are now all older than pretty much all of our teachers in high school.
Yeah.
Well, the adults here. I mean, the older people here, not the
adults.
I mean, the older people here. Meaning the Erics, the Stacys, the Wades, the Daves, everyone else. Your teachers are still young.
That was a nice try.
Well, we're old farts. Isn't that what we were called? The old farts.
I forget. What did
Richard call us old farts?
Yeah, I think it was old farts.
We were the old farts.
We're the old farts.
I see he hasn't shown his face in weeks. No.
Other than Mrs. Gilchrist. Sorry, Adam and everyone else.
Mrs. Gilchrist? You're right. She must have been 100 when we had her.
Name dropping from high school.
Here's what's crazy. Her first year teaching was my dad's senior year. Her last year teaching was my senior year.
I've seen her in the yearbooks.
38 years.
I had Mr. Ewing for calculus the last year he taught before he retired, and he was ancient. So no, I still had a teacher who was older than I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a teacher that my mom had in high school, and then she remembered her whenever she came in for open house. It was kind of funny.
I just remember that teacher. She was mean for 37 and 3/4 years, and then the last quarter, she was so laid back when she knew she was done. She's like, "Yeah, whatever."
I get that.
I got an A. I got an A in that class. She didn't care. I think she gave everybody an A her last. I
forgot
semester.
I even had her. I don't remember her class at all.
Well, speaking of handing out grades.
Yeah, perfect. I'm
all about the segues.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to start where we have to start. Oops, that's not the right button.
What? Do the button.
There we go. Hi.
Oh, hi, dude. There we
the
are.
cool mom and the hot guy.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm giving this movie. It was so cringy. Okay, the first time we watched this movie, it was made in 2004. Reagan was 5. And Wade's like, "Oh, look, this is a cute movie for the girls, 5 and 3."
Training.
I'm like, it's not. Just because we've seen her in The Parent Trap. No, I had to put my foot down. I said, they're not allowed to watch this. I don't even know how old they were when they watched it, but they were teenagers at least. I'm like, I don't know. And with the school bus hitting them, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?
And that's how she died.
Oh, it was terrible. And then she died. And I don't know. So yeah, so that was my first foray into this movie. And then plus I think I was pregnant with Kent. So it was a whole thing. I was like, no. So watching it this time, still pretty cringy, but I'm gonna have to give it like a 68.
Wow. Is that the lowest score anyone's given for their own movie?
That's a statistic I do not have handy.
That's an interesting one.
That would require some real. I'm going to send that down to R&D too.
All right, we'll find out by next week.
We'll forget by next week. Go ahead.
I don't know. You picked THX 1138, Dan.
Yeah, but I don't think I gave it a 68.
Okay, that one I'll look up while we wait for Wade.
All right.
All right.
So I did think it was kind of funny, and I did like the bus at the end. That was that was just a great way to end it, you know. And actually, I wanted to be the dog on here, but she didn't type it in.
For his name.
She'd have to be holding you the whole time.
Okay. Be done.
So I'm gonna give it a 75.
Be
Nice.
done.
All right, and for the record, Dan, you did not give THX a 68. You gave it a 65.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There we go. Did Wade give a score?
75.
Yes,
Oh, that's
he
right.
just said 75. Yes, he did.
All right, now let's go upstairs.
Yeah.
See what's going on in the hot dog room.
I'm gonna flip my mom's score and give it an 86. Because I love this movie so much. I think it's more like my age group, I think, but it's so accurate. Like it's very condensed into like one, like they took all the girls from high school and put them into one school at the same exact time so they could all kill each other. If that happened, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly what would happen. So I don't know. I just really love the setup of it. I love the way that that they explore it by having this random girl come from Africa that knows zero. Like I like that they introduce it that way. So we can really like get a like deep dive into it and see how it actually destroys you. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really, really good. I think it's hilarious. There's so many parts that I think are so funny. Like we're like the whole the she doesn't even go here scene. That whole scene, I was laughing so hard. I just think it's so funny. Every single thing that everybody says is just hilarious. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just everything about it just makes me laugh and makes me feel like, yeah, finally somebody gets it. And I watched with one of my friends, he one of my guy friends in college, and he goes, "Oh, you're all crazy." Like that's what he said. I was like, yeah. I don't know. It's so accurate. It's so good. So yeah, 86.
Well, I did like the all junior girls report to the auditorium.
Yeah, right?
It was just the junior girls.
Yep.
So Amanda says she liked the movie when she saw it before, and she liked it even more this time. The whole way through it. 88.
Woohoo!
So let's go to her father and see what he has to say about it.
It's an enjoyable movie. I am not its target audience. And so that factors in, you know, in the same way that we know Adam doesn't like rom-coms and things like that. There's certain, and last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, we did Waiting for Guffman, and Adam said, yeah, if you like Christopher Guest movies, it's fine. I'm not a fan of his movies. So
Right.
I'm a little old. I'm a little male to really be the target audience for this. I still enjoyed it though, and it was just a touch. It was a bit better the second time than it was the first time. I remembered enjoying it, but thinking meh the first time, and this time I was like, no, there were some great lines. I think that's what I come away with is the writing in this movie was excellent, and that's what saved it from being for me as sort of a bit of a throwaway comedy. Because there are some very quotable lines, and
Yeah.
so even though there's some things about it that didn't work for me, there were some things that did. So that gets it into the 80s, and I'm giving it an 82.
An 82.
Yeah, the writing brought it up to an 82. And Amanda Seyfried's character, who I thought was hysterical. I thought Karen was brilliant.
That's funny.
All right, let's go to Zach and Natalie, or Natalie and Zach.
Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I don't want to admit this, but I've probably seen this 6 or 7 times on my own. Like, not even just because I'm married and chick flicks, but I've seen it like 6 or 7 times, and I picked it.
Look at the look Natalie's giving him.
Yeah. So I
don't even know you.
And I die the Danny DeVito line every
Yes.
time. That's like my favorite part of the whole movie.
That is a great line.
Even before it came up, like I was waiting for it. So I'll give it like an 82. I'll go with 82.
Right.
Okay. Oh gosh, I have to think of an actual number. I
it's hard.
like don't like watching movies that I've already seen over again. So
Yeah.
I think going into it, I was like, yeah, I've seen Mean Girls and I like it, but like, I don't really want to watch it again. But I realized how much I loved it whenever I rewatched it. And while you guys have been talking, it's just been reminding me of so many of the lines that really kill me. The one that really does me in is the hot dog one. So I loved that you named yourself Made Out with a Hot Dog because that line literally had me laughing for like 5 minutes.
It was one time.
It was one time. I think honestly, up until that part, I would have given it a 77, and then from that point on,
Pick a number.
I know I'm good at it. From that point on, with the hot dog, and then like, what was the line that I really?
You're not fat because I hate.
Yeah, what was it?
I don't remember.
You're not. I don't hate you.
I hate you because you're fat. You're fat because I hate you.
That killed me. So overall, I think I'll give it a 88.
88.
I can't think of a single other movie that has a wheelchair trust fall in it.
Yeah.
Right? Hey,
Very
they
true.
have diversity and inclusion in this movie.
Yeah, they
They
do.
do.
Now, and that's in 04, before they were doing that on every single movie.
Yeah.
It's memorable. It's over the top, and so many of the jokes landed really well. Rebecca gives it an 89. All right. Who else do we have? We have the victim of RG.
Victim of Regina George. I definitely was a victim of Regina George in school, the plastics at my school. I love this movie. I forgot how much I enjoyed this movie until I watched it again today. And it's like so quotable. Like there's so many lines that like, I mean, all through, even like growing up, like through school, like we would quote it all the time about it. Like none for Gretchen Wieners. Like if you're passing stuff out, like that was just, I don't know. The one thing this time that made me laugh really hard though is when he was like, don't have sex. If you get sex, you'll get pregnant and die. And I was like, this kind of hits a little close to home this year. Like I did try that. So I get it now. I understand. I should have listened, but
KLA.
yeah. So I don't know. I think I will give it an 89 as well.
All right. Anyone else in the comments? Adam, you can comment anytime now. My mom just texted she wasn't able to watch it this week. So I know.
There was one other thing that occurred to me,
Brian.
which is that
Oh,
it's
Brian, I want to hear what Brian has to say.
okay. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, I didn't bring Brian up yet.
Oh boy. So this came out in high school for me. I'm pretty sure, like right at the end of high school. So I was like, I watched it back then, and I liked it back then. And I watched it this time, and then I didn't like it as much as I liked it back then. A lot of cringing for me, and there was this one part, and I can't find the line, and I don't know what it was, but I gave it points for that because I like that little scene there. And it wasn't even like one of those like really hilarious things. It was just like, that guy in the gymnasium, right? The teacher, and he like looked back at her, and he was like, what did he say? It was like something like you're a well-adjusted, beautiful woman or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am. And I was like, oh. And, so I gave it points for that, and I'm gonna give it a 70.
70?
A 70.
I did like the one teacher raising her hand was, who here has been called a slut?
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't she the secretary or something?
Yeah.
In the office.
Yeah.
All right, like I said, I think there are parallels between this and Grease. A little more Grease too.
Yeah.
If I can bring in a Johnny Nagarelli reference or a Stephanie Zanoni reference, whenever I can in conversation, I do. But or Eve Arden, maybe a little Sid Caesar, Lorna Luft. I just can't stop saying characters or actors that were in that movie. I like I said, I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought I saw it before, and I was wrong twice. I did like it. It's a funny movie. It's well done. It's produced by Lorne Michaels from a Saturday Night Live.
Who did not do Mean Girls 2?
No.
No.
Tina Fey is a genius. I think she's a great writer. Not the best actress. She's always kind of the same character, but like Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
The dad is always kind of the same actor too. He was in the show The Middle. He was the janitor on Scrubs.
On Hoot too.
Yeah.
On the what now?
In Hoot.
Hoot.
Ah, yes.
He was dad in it too.
He plays dads and janitors pretty much.
Yeah.
He's got that market corner.
Yep.
Been typecast.
I'm going to go with an 82.
Another
As my
82.
score.
Lots of 82s tonight. How about that? We have yet to hear from Adam. I know Adam likes to come in at the last
28, my guess, but go
to
on.
add a drastic
That sounds high.
whatever I think the score is going to be. All I have to say, we have spent 37 minutes tonight quoting this movie, and everybody laughed hysterically at every quote. So if you gave this less than an 80, you were full of garbage. This movie was a 90 for me because this is a funny, heartwarming, lovely movie that achieves exactly what it set out to do, which is to make you laugh in an excellent way, and it's fantastic. And if you don't like it, you can go away. All right, so that said,
oh
Yeah. I knew it was going to be less than a 28. I knew.
wow, that was
Adam,
first.
I'm just so thrilled that you watch all of these movies, whether you hate them or not.
Oh heck yeah, absolutely. I don't want anybody to go.
Yeah, definitely respect for Adam.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. No,
One other thing that occurred to me watching this movie was they made it, I guess you could say, just in time. If they had tried to make this movie even 3 or 4 years later, after social media had started to come out, the entire tone of the movie would have had to have changed because so much bullying moved online, and it just became a very different dynamic.
Yeah.
And the thing we were talking about with inclusion, I was going to bring this up. Maybe I brought it up last week already. Did I talk about Quantum Leap? Maybe that was just with Eric, the new Quantum Leap.
You brought that up with me, yes.
Yeah.
And appalled my son.
Yeah, because I basically sent a text to Eric. He's like, what do you think of the new Quantum Leap? And he said something about.
I said it was a little rough. I said that Quantum Leap was a little rough.
A little rough. And then I wrote back, let's make sure there are no white men in the cast.
And that was what my son
and his son saw that. He thought I was talking about this show.
We were talking about that.
Oh, he thought you were talking about EriDan. Oh,
let's make. Yeah, he said. I said no. I said 80s Quantum Leap was white guy, white guy, white guy. Okay, no inclusion there.
Well, in the regular, some of these scenarios were very much not.
In this one, the regulars, there are no white guys. You have a non-binary person, who I'm assuming might have, I don't know, but you've got an Asian woman, an Asian man, a white woman, a black man, and a non-binary. There's no, main cast has no white man.
And as I pointed out to Dan, jumping into a white man is the new jumping into a woman.
Where's the roles for the straight white men in Hollywood these days?
It's such a shame.
It's a lot.
All right, so Mean Girls. Here it is. There it is. Coming in. Just squeaking out. Joe versus the volcano.
It beat Grease.
Our big giant list.
Well, I'm glad it beat Grease because it's a much better movie than Grease.
Yeah.
Like 0.22.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not better than Johnny Dangerously, is it? Oh.
I don't know. And then getting bumped to the last page, The Mummy Returns gets dumped in the bottom with The Ringer and Howard the Duck. So, but still on top, Forrest Gump remains unscathed by Mean Girls.
Is The Mummy the only movie where we've actually had, as EriDan selected movies, not just extra credit, a movie and its sequel?
No, wait, say that again.
I think The Mummy Returns is the only time we've had both a movie and one of its sequel. No, because we had the triple feature of Back to the Future. That's right.
The Back to the Future
And Austin Powers. Didn't we do Austin Powers?
I don't think we officially had both of those as movies.
No, we only did one of those.
But The Mummy and The Mummy Returns was on a double feature, I think, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a double feature.
That's kind of
so. Yeah, how about that? Well, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Time to find out what we get to watch for next week. Wait, that's gonna flag us. Hold on. This one.
Was that the wrong music?
The wrong music that gets us flagged. Although we do have the rights to the music, we then have to submit a thing.
But you know, the thing is that we get flagged, but now it doesn't take us away. It just gives them credit. So like, who cares?
Oh, geez.
Let them get credit.
Yeah, they get the monetization. Yeah,
yeah, because there's so much monetization here.
So if you're joining us for the first time,
0 plus 0.
You have your movie baby spin-off series you're going to be starting, right?
Movie babies? Yeah. I like Muppet Babies. Every time you provide a score for a movie, you get a space on the wheel, and your opportunity then to pick pick a movie for next week.
If your name's Adam.
Unless your name, Adam has got a lot of spaces. Everybody's got a lot of spaces so far. So we'll see what happens here. I scrolled too much. I've scrolled too much. So we give it a single shuffle. And if there are some people who names are on the wheel who are not with us, so if their names come up, of course we will respin.
And anybody who wants to be on the wheel who's here.
Oh, they're already on, whether they want to be or not. Okay. Just deal with the pain of that later. So here we go. We're gonna spin the wheel and find out who gets to choose next week's movie.
Oh, the stress. The stress.
Oh man, it's a good spin. I got a good spin this time. Look at that. It's going for.
It's like helicopter blades on.
Oh, Amanda. Amanda is in the comments.
Didn't she just pick one too?
She just got to pick the double feature, I believe. Am I right about that?
She did.
I believe she did. She picked our double feature, but that does not exclude her. No, actually, she did not pick the double feature. She just got a regular movie spin, and she only had one or two spaces.
Wow.
Would have it. That's crazy. Well, we'll see if she wants to choose another movie. I'm assuming who would give up such an honor.
So yeah, she had one like 2 weeks ago, and she got one with one space. Is that what you're saying?
She must have only had one space on the wheel.
Yeah, because we did the double feature last week. Yeah. Or not 2 weeks ago we did that. We chose.
She had two. She had two or three.
Yeah.
If you give a name for each score that they give.
Yeah.
A lot fewer than Adam, anyway.
Yeah.
A lot fewer than Adam.
Crazy.
We'll see if she's still in the comments. Maybe she left.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
She was with us. She
nope, just a single movie a few weeks ago.
Stick around for the whole thing this week, so she may have already bailed.
Nope, just a single movie a few weeks ago. Look at that. I know there's
cool.
So you can choose another one, I guess. Now or you could
be kind for just one name on the wheel.
Oh yeah, she did Spider-Verse.
And
That's
she
right.
did.
Yes.
Spider-Verse. That is correct.
Yes.
Was it Jen who did Waiting for Guffman then?
Jen did Waiting for Guffman.
That is
See,
correct.
I can't even tell them apart.
Only
just like you and Wade. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who am I? No.
She's happy too, though she feels bad.
Don't feel like Adam will then have even more next week. You know, they just keep eventually
we'll get more and more opportunities.
Eventually, the law of probabilities will kick in.
Never ends. It's never-ending wheel. We will not reset at the new year, I promise. So if you've collected a lot of spaces, there's still a chance.
I've got to have 20 in there right now.
You've got quite a few in here. You are definitely in the majority. And of course, obviously, you'll need to be here next week if you can be here with us next week.
We should have been.
Brittany had to go. She said to Brian, "Don't forget to text her the movie.
Well, I'll just see her tomorrow, anyways.
And yeah, that's right, exactly. You guys can watch it together.
Reagan, he's going to be at the airport tomorrow. His plane gets in at 4:40.
It's true.
But you're going to be at
Airport.
boxing, so you can't.
What are you
go
flying? Are
in.
you flying Southwest?
American.
Yep, that was my next guess.
Yeah.
Sad day.
I'm sure watch
I'm-
the plane come on
I'm
in. So
Very nervous to fly.
There used to be a JetBlue from Portland to Pittsburgh.
Hmm.
There was a nonstop.
We got one a couple weeks ago, and I was like, based on what? We have British Airways now, though, which that was cool.
I took the train from Boston up to Saco, Maine, south of Portland. That was fun.
Saco. Yep.
That's crazy.
Saco.
You said it wrong, Dan.
All right. Well, Amanda's thinking we can move on.
Yeah.
To, what else you've been watching? All right. I have watched a lot this week, surprisingly so. As I reflect, well, honestly, I was laid up all day yesterday, recovering from my weekend. So
Yeah, I bet.
Hungover.
Yesterday, so I'll throw out if you haven't been watching She-Hulk, I feel like She-Hulk just became must watch. The 8th episode, but still.
I've only watched the first 2. I got some catching up to do.
Oh, you got to, yeah. But that, it's worth the payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I will definitely say that. Watch that instead of Mean Girls 2, if you get the choice. If those are your choices.
We've been just watching British Bake Off and Junior Bake Off and Call the Midwife and
Survivor.
British TV and Survivor, British TV and Survivor.
A British Survivor would be a very different show.
That'd be odd. Australian's bad.
Australian is good. Australian's better. Oh, so much better.
Oh man.
My problem with Survivor is it's gotten too much the same. It's like,
Yeah.
good. Let's see, they're gonna swim, and then they're gonna collect puzzle pieces, and then they're gonna.
Yes, they
Well,
haven't.
Yeah.
And
That's
go
why I
find an
liked
idol.
Australian. It was different.
Yeah, and there's always hidden idols everywhere, and
Amanda has made a choice.
Oh.
Yes, she
Smoke.
has. We're going to be watching The King's Speech.
Ooh,
Whoa! Listen to the
British
oohs and
even.
ahs.
nice choice.
Wow. How about that? So available for streaming on Vudu, Tubi, Pluto, and Plex, and Freevee, all of which are not words. None of those.
I know, it sounds like you just had a stroke. What were those?
There are things they can do to make
Pluto's the word.
Freevee.
Colin Firth. Yeah,
I can play Tubi in my car now.
Wow.
My car
Eric used to
gets
play the Tubi in high school.
So did I.
Yeah, I was the marching tubies.
And in college.
I was fourth chair.
And in
I was
college.
fourth chair too, but there was only 2 of us.
I
How
just didn't
bad
want
I
him sitting
was.
next to me. Oh, and Adam has already thrown out an ugh. I have not seen this movie. I have no idea what to expect.
Oh, it's
I refuse to hear anything.
It's
Big
movie.
award winner.
fiction.
It's a movie.
It's an award winner.
It's not fiction.
Colin Firth, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Colin Firth. Yep.
Jason
Rated
Jason
R.
Ritter.
How's Helena Bonham Carter in it?
Yeah, I
Jason
think she
Ritter
was.
See, we got
Jason
Colin
Ritter had a
Firth,
TikTok.
Jeffrey Rush, Helen Bonham Carter, Guy Pearce, Timothy
Jeffrey
Spall, and Michael Gambon.
Russell Brand as the court jester.
Jason Ritter had a TikTok where he said, "All right, in the comments, name your favorite British actor. I'll go Firth."
Oh,
I have too many.
I wonder if she chose this in
Maybe
honor
it
of
was
the
your
Queen.
favorite actor named Colin. I'll go Firth.
Not Farrell?
He was just on SNL.
Yes, he was.
A little
Even though he
cameo.
wasn't the host or the musical guest.
So Amanda says she watched Everything Everywhere All at Once on a plane over the weekend.
That's a long title.
movie is-
Everything all at once on an airplane over the weekend.
That's a lot of stuff.
It
It's
was
a big
good.
movie. That's an amazing movie.
I know. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, so
I want to see it.
Everybody's telling me I have to see it.
I have not heard of this one.
Yeah,
Really?
It was
Really?
all over things like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be.
remember.
Yeah, maybe that's familiar then.
Highly recommend that.
I want to see Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Don't know that one.
I do.
Wow.
But I think it's out of theaters now, so I think it's.
I watched. I was painfully
Really?
unaware that Jon Stewart had a show on Apple TV+.
But season 2 just started. Yeah.
And I just watched the first episode of season 2 for the first time. Wow. He's amazing. He's so well spoken.
Yeah.
So controversial, of course. This is Jon Stewart, but very well spoken.
Travesty, yes.
But yeah, so if you love Jon Stewart, it's a lot of Jon Stewart. No, it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Some people would not, but some people might. So very enjoyable. So I would recommend that as well.
Amanda, I wish you would have picked everything all at once over Airplane.
I don't think is it streaming anywhere?
I think so.
I think it is now.
Maybe it's not.
Oh,
Kinda.
But it's still considered a 2022 film.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh yeah, it's purchase only right now.
Yeah, you have to buy the thing. If you want to buy everything everywhere all at once, it's going to cost you at least.
In a few months, it'll be a good one to pick.
Speaking of everything everywhere all at once,
I didn't even say his intro. I just dumped him in.
Yeah.
That's
Wiki. Wikipedia.
how about them Stillers?
I don't even want to talk about it.
don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
What's
Well,
up, Cody?
Not much. Figured I'd stop in. I just got home. So
Every time we see you, there's like a little more stuff in the background. You've got a little more fixed up.
yeah,
You're like the new
I'm
girl.
still unpacking. It's been a month and I'm still unpacking. So
Yeah.
I've been here 13 years, Cody. I'm still unpacking.
it's just
Dan's
gonna keep
mentally
happening.
unpacking.
No, I figured I'd stop in, see what movie you guys were watching next week, see if I could potentially watch it this week. Work's been nuts. Like last Friday, I left at 6:30 in the morning. I got back at 8:45.
Oh, you had homecoming?
No, homecoming. What do you-
That was Eric's day yesterday.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
That was Saturday.
I wish that would be more fun than what I was doing.
It was fun. It was fun. We were watching The King's Speech for next week.
The King's Speech. Got it. I'll look that up. Right
Did you
now.
watch Mean Girls? Can you give it a score?
I can give Mean Girls a score, not because I watched it for this, but I ironically have watched it recently because it was just on TV.
What would you score it if you were going to give it a score?
I would score Mean Girls a solid 83.
Okay.
It has ups and
That
downs.
won't move it much, if any.
The quotes, it's the quotes that make that movie good.
yeah.
100%.
And everyone agrees with that. Yes.
Okay,
It's
good.
a
See, I
quotable
wasn't even,
movie.
I get it.
It doesn't move it up or down from where it is in currently sitting in the rating.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Right where it is, it moves it 0.18%.
You picked the perfect score.
I got it. Wait, what were we watching next week? What was it?
The King's
The King's Speech.
King's Speech. Got it.
Just messed something up. There we go. I'm trying to think. I did watch something else yesterday. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's gone. Oh, I started watching Andor. Has anybody watched Andor at all?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I've watched them also.
Point from Cody.
No, I just finished Andor's next. I just finished Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did watch Obi-Wan. I have not watched the Boba Fett series at all.
Nope.
Yeah,
There's
Boba
too
Fett was
many.
okay.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
I'm only 3 episodes into Andor, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was kind of getting bored at it because it was all just, do something.
That's
and
what
then
Jennifer said. Jennifer said I'm kind of bored.
But
And
it
Jennifer was a little bored by it.
it gets definitely better about episode 4.
See, that's what I'm about to start. So I'm in a good position because I've been all right with this. Like, some of the series, like, Mandalorian got very predictable for me. Like,
Yeah.
it was very like, it was Quantum Leap. It was like, oh, I'm going to go to a planet. We're going to find a people. They're going to want me to do something to give me the thing I need. So I got to do the thing. And then they'll give me the thing I need. And then I
It
got
was
to
like a scavenger hunt. It really was. Yeah.
And so,
It started out promising, but it petered out.
Yeah, but this I don't know where it's going, so I'm intrigued.
Interesting.
How about
Also
Zach
some-
and Natalie? What have you been watching lately?
A whole bunch of New Girl, the Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer.
No.
My wife watched that. Ooh, no.
I
No.
can't. It's not the murder that like stops me. I can only watch like one episode at a time. It's just heavy. Like
Yeah.
it makes me sad more than anything.
What do you
Yeah.
snack
like-
on when you're watching that?
Huh?
What do you snack on when you're watching that?
I'm
Hot
at
dogs.
his arm.
Yeah, I miss it both now.
Just that one time.
A hot dog.
I used to do a joke about that. I'm trying to remember how it went, but it was something like every time they interview people, it's always like, wow, it's such a quiet neighbor. Like they interview everybody, like Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbors. And wow, Jeffrey was the last person we'd expect to eat people. Who's the first person you'd expect to eat people?
I mean, the Dahmer party was named after him, after all.
Oh my God.
He's one of the few serial killers that they didn't add his middle name.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Because usually they put the middle name in there just so,
Yeah.
like Lee Harvey Oswald was just went by Lee
That's to
Oswald.
discern you from everybody
John Wayne
else. Who's like
And
Jeffrey
John
Dahmer.
Wayne Gacy and
Lee Harvey Oswald and
John
you
Wayne
know.
Gacy and
Lou Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris, yes.
Yeah.
Lou Diamond Phillips,
Yep.
oh my gosh.
There's a big one.
Anyway,
Jerry Lee Lewis.
when I was working at summer camp was when I was read a whole big giant expose on his face just popped up on our TV on Jeffrey Dahmer and was creeped out living at summer camp.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was really. I was like, and so here, and every time a show ends on Netflix, that's the first thing that pops up
Mm-hmm.
to play next or to play the trailer. I don't
That's because
know.
they know your demographics. They know that that's what you want to watch next.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't even know anything about him. I didn't like, okay, growing up, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know that he's a killer. You know what I mean? That's it. That's literally it. I didn't know that he ate people. I didn't know any detail of this man besides he wore glasses and he killed people. That's all that I knew about him.
It's the
Like,
glasses.
until right now. Like,
If you like Dexter, you might also like.
Yeah.
what a guy.
Maybe not. Maybe not. The only reason I haven't watched that show yet was because I saw a post from somebody who they were depicted on the show with their like exact name, and they're like, nobody talked to us about this. Nobody let us know this was happening.
Oh.
And so that like I was like, okay, as much as I want to watch this show and I want to experience it because I like it's interesting. That stuff interests me. I'm like, that's so messed up by Netflix to do that I'm like, I can't watch this right now.
Yeah, I know that Mike Tyson was quite upset about the recent. Was it a miniseries or a movie that came out about him? But he's a little different because he's a public figure.
Yeah.
To do it with someone who's not a public figure is really not right.
I wonder how they even did that because it's not like they like interviewed people.
It was a news. It was something that a woman was on the news being interviewed, and they redepicted the exact interview. And like she's like, I saw the same clothes I was wearing, like all the stuff.
Yeah, that's weird.
And that dress was the ugliest thing I have ever seen.
Oh my gosh, that is the ugliest Evan skirt I've ever seen.
Oh, still quoting the movie.
I don't think that I watched anything new this week. Like, well, I watched Dolphin Tale 3 times today, but
You want what 3 times today?
Dolphin Tale.
But
Wow.
something that I'm it's still like pause. Like I'm like but I'm super excited. I don't know. I really am excited for that Addams Family TV show that comes out in November because I love the Addams Family. And it just looks really, really cool. It's more about like Wednesday specifically, but I don't know. I'm just super excited about it. I usually don't get excited about stuff. I'm always usually like, oh no, what if they don't do this right? Everything? No. If in case they don't do something right or whatever. But no, Adams, like I just love all the Addams Family stuff. So I'm super excited.
That's not my Wednesday Adams. I'm sorry.
Fred Armisen is playing Fester.
Who is it's Christina Ricci yours, Eric?
Christina Ricci.
No, yes, I agree with that, Eric.
Yeah, I go back to the original TV series for me. So
I all Adam's Family. Even if the little cartoons are terrible, like from like the new ones, like the new cartoon movies from the past couple years, they're awful, but they're Adam's Family. So
they were bad. I want to hear Zach and Natalie talk about Smile.
Okay, I was waiting for that.
I mentioned it last week.
Yeah.
And I had a different opinion, I think, than you two. I know I had a different opinion.
What was your opinion? You hated it.
It was fun sitting next to Eric being terrified, but yeah.
It was not my kind of movie. That's all. So basically, but I know it was your kind of movie. You were very excited about it.
Well, I don't like horror that much. That's all we watch, but I was actually terrified in this movie. I'm usually just like, this is so dumb. I don't like this. Or I fall asleep immediately because I'm just not interested. But I was actually terrified. So I enjoyed it.
Yes. Oh. It had some of the best jump scares I've ever seen of any horror movie. What else can I say about it? It was just, I like that it's a new concept because I feel like all horror movies are just kind of the same. There we go.
Ew.
They're just all the same of like moving into a nice, pretty house that turns out to be haunted, or just like straight demonic stuff. But this was like, it was different. It was new.
And I usually don't like them because they're so poorly made.
Yeah, it looks like they were made with like $20.
Yeah, 12-year-old with like a camcorder recorded it, and like the script.
It was cinematic. I will say.
But anyway, it was like shot when I was like, "Ooh, the lighting's good in this," and like stuff like that. Usually, a horror movie, it's like they're not even centered. Like
or it's like
shaky. Yeah, I was like,
I will say it was well produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a bit like saying she had a nice personality. Like, oh, it had really good the framing of the shot. Really admired.
True.
No, it was all around great. Does anybody else like horror movies?
No.
Sometimes.
I have like a select 3, and that's it. That's as scary as I get.
I like the ones that he was saying that are filmed really badly because they make me laugh. Like, Evil Dead.
You like the found footage kind of movies?
Yeah, they're fun.
Blair Witch.
Yeah.
What? Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like those kinds. They're fun.
See, that's not no.
I had students who thought Blair Witch was a real like bunch of kids who got in trouble, who were in. I don't know. They thought it was a real thing and not a movie.
Back when it came out, like they did all this stuff to like
because they advertised it.
Yeah, the way they advertised it, they tried to make people think it was real.
But Mrs. Ryder, it said on the internet that it was real. The internet was 5 minutes old.
Yeah, well, they set stuff up like a year before
the
movie came out. They started making the whole backstory.
Yeah,
and there's a funny video of this. I think we talked about this before. The female in the movie was interviewing people at one of the premieres, one of the screenings, and she's interviewing a guy, and she's like, "Do you think this movie's based on a real thing?" He goes, "Oh yeah, that's all real, right?" And she's like, "You think it's real?" "Yeah." "So you think that girl's dead?" "Yeah, she's got to be, right?" And he's like, "Wait a minute, you look just like her." "That's because I am her. I'm an actress."
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
I don't know.
It sort of reminds me of actually I'll post this. They had to come out with a recent press release because someone has been going around Pennsylvania parks and trails and posting fake park signs about Bigfoot sightings.
Oh my
There have
god.
been Bigfoot sightings in this area. You're asked to approach cautiously and report to authorities if you see one.
Wow,
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
And then I think that Pittsburgh Dad, Kurt Wooten, has made a movie about Bigfoot. I haven't seen it yet, but
Oh, Lord.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's fantastic.
They even put it in Spanish.
Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do
and
not
the thing
post
is, I wouldn't
sightings on
put bio
social
for
media.
that anyways.
You know what's funny? I wouldn't even have read that. Like I would have
People
walked
read
by it and
signs.
been like, I guess I'm dead. Like that's
Yeah, people don't read signs. That is
You
hilarious.
just ask what you wonder.
There's a few too many advertisements on this page.
I was going to say,
the morning
call
calls
clearly makes all of their money from ads. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Well, I know you've all been following the Taylor Swift release of her album names.
Oh, have we?
Earlier this week, every hour from midnight till 5 a.m., she was announcing the last 5 tracks. No, nobody else watching that.
You know, J.K. Rowling, when she was releasing last Harry Potter book, she would put out one sentence at a time and have a press release for it.
So if you want to relive it with me,
Lavender Haze,
track 2,
Maroon,
track 3,
Antihero, Snow on the Beach.
Why are we watching that?
Featuring Lana Del Rey. You're on your own, kid.
The name of the album, Who Cares?
Question.
What is this?
Vigilante shit.
Exactly. What is this?
Bejeweled. Labyrinth.
Oh, it's
Karma.
all movies.
Sweet Nothing. Mastermind.
There you go. So now you know all the track names from the Taylor Swift.
No, I don't.
That's all I needed to
Snow on
know.
the beach. I like that.
Zach and I are ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See? I know.
For someone named Taylor Swift, she sure has a slow release process.
Yeah. Now it's like, why are we watching this?
Would you rather have TikTok videos?
What?
Would you rather have some of the TikTok videos Eric loves to post?
That was my TikTok video of the week. I didn't. I avoided the terrible mashups that I've normally been playing.
I like the terrible mashups.
I enjoy the terrible mashups as well.
I also
Can we
like
say
that
what?
one where the people's tongues were like rotating and their eyes were all crazy.
Okay.
That was
Oh, that
hilarious.
one.
Are you sure you weren't
Yeah.
just on acid there, Brian?
I'm pretty sure he showed it with like the Avengers,
The Avengers
or something.
filter. It was a filter put on the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Oh my.
Speaking of the Avengers, well, we were watching the previews to Mean Girls on the DVD because we didn't fast forward through them. There was a movie advertised from 2005 called The Perfect Score with Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson. And it said, if you could be anything you would ever, what would you want to be? And she's all in black and kicking people in the face.
Oh.
So
I need to see this movie.
I was gonna pick it.
It's called The Perfect Score. It's about the SATs.
About this. Wait a second.
It's about the SATs.
It's about the SATs.
They were gonna go in and steal the SAT question.
Yeah, I've watched it. I watched
It looks cute, but it just made me laugh that she wants to be the Black
Wow.
Widow.
Black Widow before the Black Widow.
I know what I'm doing right after this.
Can you bring your pillow with you, Eric?
It's only like one
I'm gonna
scene
go
though.
to bed, but oh wait, I should.
See if you can run the trailer.
It's the perfect score,
No,
and
I
then
haven't shown this yet. I'm gonna go get this
I was gonna pick it
because this is the perfect night to debut this. I've been waiting for the right opportunity. I will be right back. Hold on. a second.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
oh
This
boy,
man left.
You asked for it.
It's our gift that we got him for being our DJ, and it's very weird, but
Well, that's okay. So is he.
True.
He was our DJ in 1994.
Oh my gosh, no way.
he was my sister's DJ in 1988.
Aww.
That might have been his first wedding.
He's
I
a
think
good
it
one.
was.
yeah, he's tying us
He's
all
an
together.
EriDan heirloom.
Brittany and Richard, I think, right?
DJs from the Hideaway.
No?
Oh, that's right. It was DJs from the Hideaway.
Yeah, that started with me, Eric, and Rick West.
Uh-huh.
Goodness.
It's weird. Eric and I started DJing together, and he went off and DJ'd, and then we started doing stand up together, and then I went off and did stand up. So I used each other to partner up.
And now you're doing this together. Which one of you
I
is
know.
going to abandon the other?
It's all back.
Making a TV show now by yourself.
It's not about me. It's all fiction,
right.
but yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, here we go.
I heard them explain that this was the fantastic gift they got me, and it is a horror season. There we go.
No way.
Oh God, I can't unsee that. That will haunt my nightmares.
How do you maintain your girlish figure?
How did you do that? How'd you get his head on her?
I googled for about 2 weeks Black Widow things. And like, Eric probably has all these. Then I was like, create your own pillow, and I was like, Eric, I hope he doesn't have this yet, but so I chose.
There's
that.
always a chance he could already have it.
Yes.
It just makes me so happy. Gift from the heart.
Yeah.
Gift from right there. It is.
I'm laughing inside where it counts.
Exactly. Woo. Wow.
Wow.
Is she beautiful?
She.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yep.
As they say on Quantum Leap, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'll share my screen space. There we go. Perfect.
There you go. Oh my.
You should have it there when you have Zoom meetings with your couples.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Hey, this is the quality level of gifts that I accept.
This is what I expect. Step it up.
Is that available in the EriDan store yet?
I can send you the link.
Please, no.
You can get it with either Eric or Dan head.
Man, it just gets better and better.
Reversible. One side's Eric, one side's.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I'm trying to redirect. The SAT is hard to take. It's even harder to steal.
And with just their luck, they decided to steal it in 2020 when they decided it's not required anymore.
Oh, I didn't take the SAT. I graduated college.
How about that?
I survived.
Yeah, a lot of schools a few years ago went optional. Now most of them are like, yeah, we don't care.
Doesn't care.
They have their own tests. They want tests.
Yeah, it's just plagiarize an essay for us, and we'll let you know on that.
Crazy.
Funny.
Crazy.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're at the wall. Oh wait, Brian's talking.
No, I was just gonna say I'm a little upset. I took it like 3 times. So
Why?
It's not like a driver's test.
Just take it once to be done.
I just took it last week.
Last week, no.
What were you trying for there, Brian? What was your
higher than I got?
I was really upset with my score, and I called my mom and said, "This is my score," and she goes, "Oh, that's okay, that's good." I'm like, "Okay," and then my Reagan's sister got the same score. So,
I was
I
happy.
think okay, so
wait, wasn't it 2400 when she took it?
Yeah.
Did they switch it to 2400?
I don't know.
It was 1600 an hour day.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
from
if
the,
she did
from the
SAT.
1600 is I think I got a 1050 and I was upset. I was mad.
I think I got a 990. I got into Robert Morris and I was done.
Dude, I got an 824 on the PSAT.
I got like a 1050 or 1100 on the PSAT. And
I didn't take that one. No.
I got a 600 in my math and like a 390, I think, on my English.
And look at the man he's become. Look at the man he has become.
Right, he's writing, and you know what? Because tests are crap.
Yeah.
There
Pretty
you
much.
go.
That's
From
the
the teacher.
I like tests.
They are though.
Yeah, they are. Because Reagan is not a test taker, and it's just what it is.
I will agree that test taking is a separate skill from what actually makes you a success in college.
Exactly.
Or in life.
I think it's a useful skill, but it's a separate skill.
It is.
Yeah, especially when you get into grad school and it's like all writing. It's not taking tests.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was going to say about Sherlock. If I know that Dan, you have an interest and fascination with pilots. I don't know if the pilot episode of Sherlock is streaming anywhere, because it's a really interesting case. Because they made the pilot, and then when they made episode 1 of season 1, they basically remade the pilot, but they rewrote it a fair amount. So it's very similar, but not the exact same episode. So it's really a fascinating watch those two back to back.
Interesting.
They even have a lot of the same actors in the same roles.
Interesting.
Not leads, but some of the just for that episode actors.
Is that the show we're watching this month?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've at least chosen Episode 1, Season 1, and Episode 3, Season 1. The first two.
All right. I watched them years ago when it first started, but it's been a long time.
I'm very
I
anxious
need
to
to rewatch
rewatch.
all of them.
Yeah, that's
It was
my
a good
It's
show.
a
I just
wonderful
never
show.
remembered to catch it.
Yeah, I just didn't like the last season as much, but
Season 4 was not as good.
And weren't you talking about picking Columbo? Today is Columbo Day. Weird.
I thought today was Columbus Day.
Well, somebody else said it was Columbo
I'm
Day.
sure they changed it to be,
It's Indigenous Peoples Day.
sensitive.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because Columbus didn't really discover anything.
that's
Thought
right.
it-
Marco Vespucci did.
Yeah, it's
Or the Vikings.
Yeah.
Leif Erikson.
Right, the Vikings.
Leif Erikson.
Leaf Garrett,
yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Leaf. I mean, come on.
Brad Garrett.
Ed
Brad
Leaf.
Garrett,
Make like a tree and get out of here.
Biff Tannen.
Biff.
Wow.
Ed Leaf. Oh my gosh, that's a name.
Then
Well, on that note,
name came up because my son's doing senior pictures, and we were looking in the yearbook, and he calls this the Ed Leaf. He's like holding his chin.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Is it like
I love
Blue
it.
Steel?
yeah.
it's a little like Blue Steel. So, Dan, you have a sitcom update you want to give to anybody?
I don't think we have much. We have filming on the 23rd here, and then we're going down to California to film the final day on November 19th.
Wow.
We're doing a screening on December 12th, and we might send a copy over to Pittsburgh and set up a little theater somewhere and do a screening there,
Nice. Okay.
Ooh.
just to let people see it and get opinions.
That's fun.
I don't know if I'll be there, but Eric will.
So you'll be
Awesome.
filming your scenes with.
Yeah, we have Rick Springfield, like I mentioned. We also, right now, we might have Chad Smith, the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
How about
in the
that?
scene as well.
Cool.
The Will Ferrell lookalike.
I just wanted to do this name drop is sponsored in part by Death. It's closer than you think. Death is not available in all areas. Please consult your doctor to find out if death is right for you.
It's so dark.
It's so dark.
It is Halloween month.
So that's the only reason you want me to drop Rick Springfield's name.
Huh?
That was it.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what
Because he wanted to.
This reference to Rick Springfield was brought to you in part by the all-new 2022 EriDan for style that can't be changed.
Wouldn't the 2023 model be out by now?
It should be. It's October.
These are used models. We're trying to get rid
Trying to unload our old inventory, Dave.
Make room for the new.
The new all electric Aravan.
That's right, exactly.
That's next. Yeah, that's season 5.
I do like the Tree of My Soul being on the side of it.
And
Yes.
it's a sassy,
Side of the man is
and it's a
fantastic.
sassy gerbil edition.
It is the Sassy Verbal edition and the prom picture.
We do
It's a
need a
great
game
car.
night here sometimes.
We have to do another game night soon.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a game night because some of the best moments happen.
You have to find a time when Denise is available so she can join in.
Yes. Yeah, I will talk.
Yeah, we miss Denise.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Although it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be it was almost all guys except for Denise. And so
True.
she brought a very useful perspective. Now we have a lot more women on the episodes here.
Yeah, but she's still
Much more
Denise.
But we still do miss Denise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
No other name drops. You got one more?
I got no.
No,
Well, let me think. No.
No, that was it. I will.
Either.
I was going to make a reference to Debbie Gibson being on the
Oh, that
Tonight
was horrible.
Show.
What was she on?
Ooh.
She was sitting on the Tonight Show.
Jimmy Fallon
She
on
was with
Tonight
the
Show
band.
had a 80s night. Where who was all the guests? It was
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, Leah Thompson, Simple Minds? No.
Simple Mind.
No, Modern
English.
Modern English performed. And Debbie Gibson sat in with the Roots.
Well, she really fits in with the Roots, doesn't she?
You couldn't see her roots. She had a good dye job.
So Dan, are you going to have her go buy a car off of Tiffany?
No, Tiffany's just the dream girl.
She just she doesn't work there.
She doesn't work there now.
You
Dan,
can
all
have
I
her
gotta
soul
say-
on anyways. That would be even more funny.
Oh, but wait, hold on. Eric mentioned Debbie Gibson.
This reference to Debbie Gibson was brought to you in part by All new Fluckersnoodles, the perfect snack for when mom and dad just won't listen.
Those cookies sound pretty good though.
Just lumps of raw dough.
Come on. It looks
His
delicious.
favorite ice cream is.
You weren't listening, Dave.
You weren't listening. Where mom and dad just won't listen.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Oh boy.
I know. You know it gets bad when we're just playing old bumpers.
Yes. It's for the new
All right.
people to see.
Sometimes you just have to.
That's all we got.
That's all I got.
The show.
I think it's a show.
I think that's a fantastic.
I think
show.
Saturday we'll be back with the live Clutch Radio.
Oh, no way.
We did one this Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did see that you actually.
We're back.
That's awesome. So car questions. If you got car questions, Dan and Rafi, they're the ones to ask.
So what is Cox Automotive, Dan?
That's a company I work for now.
Oh, okay.
They own Kelly Blue Book, Auto Trader, Mannheim
Okay.
Auto Auction. It's the Cox family. They were actually the governor of Ohio back in the early 1900s was Governor Cox. I know, write your jokes. And he ran for president in 1920. He lost. It was one of the biggest upsets ever. He ran the Democratic ticket on his whole platform was about women's rights and that women should have equal rights to men. And he lost horribly. But his vice president that ran with him was FDR.
Wow.
Never realized FDR ran for vice president. And his great grandson is the CEO of the company still.
Oh, cool.
Privately owned still, not public.
No relation to Courtney.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So Dan, there's a kid whose last name Cox in our youth group, and his first name is Ben, and his middle initial is D, and that's what he got on his. And that's what he got on his band jacket too.
Bendy Cox. Well, that's just
That's just wrong in so many ways.
I see ads for that all the time on Twitter.
Parents can be cruel.
Yeah.
Is it a cruel parents or a clueless parent?
There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
This mildly sexual content is brought to you in part by
Big Eddie's Slaughterhouse and Petting Zoo, the only place you get to feast on fun.
Minutes from the mall.
Minutes
Wow.
from the mall. Oh my god.
Sensory 3 Chevrolet.
Lebanon Church
Pittsburgh. Minutes from the mall. The
I
mall
was
doesn't
unemployed
exist.
for a long time. Did you realize that? I had a lot of time to make these kind of things.
So, Eric, how is employment?
Well, you've noticed there's
Slowing
nothing new.
things down. Huh?
You got to have some new merch, though, for the Christmas season.
All right, we got to play this one.
This name drop is sponsored in part by Celebrity Crotch Scented Candles. Get one for your room for a night that goes boom. Now available in Kevin James scent.
It's just the Kevin James coming out of the flame. He's like,
You're gonna give him an idea, man. I'm telling you.
They already sold them. It was real, wasn't it? Real?
Oh, very real.
Somebody's was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no EriDan.
Not Kevin James.
Famous line of them. Yes.
oh yeah, Kevin James crotch. We have it now.
Yeah, but never an EriDan scented candle.
Please. Oh my.
Christmas is coming.
All right.
It's time to be done. Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
We're
All
off
right,
the
I think
rails.
on that note, it is time.
So how did Ben for us?
Next
gonna go
week,
back to pastor school.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 o'clock next Monday night. King's Speech. See you then.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.